It is Tim Whittemore here with the Whittemore Group with eXp Realty again with Wednesdays with the Whittemore Group. All right, so today we're going to talk about a very exciting time after you've gotten all your prep ready and you're ready to start showing your house, getting it ready, or you've been getting it ready for sale, and now it's time to start showing it to some prospective buyers. So some tips before you start actually showing these people to get your house ready before you leave or the night before or whatever you want to do. So some things to consider before you leave. I got some top tips that you can take a look at. So number one, of course, is to check the curb appeal in the exterior. Our objective here trying to sell houses is to get people into the house so that they can look around and we can get them to fall in love with it. So if they get into the house and they see everything outside and they're like, oh, this is really nice, and go in. The one thing that really kind of stinks is that if somebody comes up to the house and they look at it and be like, not at all, but the inside's immaculate, it doesn't matter because nobody actually went in there. Right? Okay, so that's the first one. Make sure, just some tips, general tips, make sure that the lawn looks good, that everything is washed and it's decluttered. There's not a bunch of junk in the yard. Rake it. It's that time of year you need to rake the leaves, those sort of things. All right. Next is to check for clutter. Again, this is a big one. We've got people into the house now, so now it's time for people to look around and be able to see themselves and their stuff in your house that you're trying to sell to them. Now, if the counters are cluttered, it's got some crumbs and stuff from breakfast from before, or there's kids' toys scattered about, it's really going to be off-putting. It's actually going to take away from how big the house actually is, and people are just going to go, I don't want to be in here. And even if they do decide to get an offer, statistically, it's somewhere around $2,000 to $3,000 off what they normally would have put in an offer for if it was nice and neat. So make sure to declutter. That's huge, and it's cheap. You don't have to do anything for that. All right. Oh, and caveat to that too, if you want one place to be messy inside the house, make sure it's the garage. Everybody kind of anticipates that the garage is going to be a little messy. So if you have one place where you just throw all your junk, put it in the garage. Okay, next one is the kitchen. Kitchen's a big one. That's usually where most people go when they first get into the house. They go into the kitchen. They want to see, what sort of counter space they have, how much storage space, those sort of things. So they're going to go into the kitchen. Again, make sure that everything is wiped down. The counters are wiped down. The floors are swept, and that take all the things off the counter. Now, I'm not saying take everything off. If it looks like it belongs in the kitchen, then on the counter, you can leave it there. If you have a stand mixer, a toaster, a microwave, if it looks like it's supposed to be there, go ahead and leave it there. But if it looks like something that you're going to have when you're actually cooking or prepping food, put it away. Put it away. People want to see how much counter space that they have there. Next one is the bathrooms. Make sure that I'm laughing because I keep seeing it all the time. Make sure that you take the toilet lid and put it down. Nobody needs to see the inside of that. And if they want to take a look, they could take a look themselves. So bring that one down, pull the curtain across, make sure that it looks nice and neat. Again, declutter the sink top, countertops. Make sure it looks nice. And ensure that you have been cleaning it regularly as well. If they go in and it looks like it's stained just from normal washing, make sure that you wipe that stuff down so it looks real good. A little bit of water in there. People realize that you're living in this house. That's okay. Just know that you're going to have to keep up with it. A big thing, and I'm going to mention it at the end of this video, is when you actually start showing a home, feel like that you're actually living in a model home. So think of it that way. It always has to be ready to show all the time, which of course is going to drive you crazy for a little bit, which is why we want to sell this as quickly as possible. All right, next one is going to be your bedrooms. So the bedrooms, again, big thing, declutter. If it's carpeted, make sure that it's vacuumed. Make sure that the bed is made. Make sure that there's just not stuff overflowing out of the closets, ready to knock somebody over. They want to be able to see everything that's in there. Just know when it comes to closets, if we're talking about decluttering those, just make sure stuff's off the floor. If things are hanging and they're up on the racks there, that's perfectly fine. People anticipate. They want to see how big the closet is. The best way people are going to do that is to be able to see the floor. So make sure that the floor is good to go. All right, next one is your flooring, not just in the closets, but throughout the house. Make sure that it is swept, that it's vacuumed, that it looks good, and again, all the stuff has been picked up for that. That's going to make a huge difference for showing. For the windows, make sure your blinds are open. Make sure that it's wiped down, and hopefully they're not fogged windows, those sort of things. Make sure that they look good and they don't have that, that little thing of dust that kind of collects, because we never clean those. Make sure that those look good, and make sure that that natural light's coming in. People love to have that natural light come in. Of course, the next part is the temperature. So if you're in Florida in the middle of summer, you want to have it a little bit cooler than it is outside. Probably a lot cooler. If people can walk into the house and get that fresh, oh my God, it feels so great in here, that's already emotionally getting them into the house, and they'll love that. On the flip side, if it's freezing cold out and you're in the northeast, somewhere around there, make sure that it is nice and cozy and warm in there. Now, we don't want it ridiculously hot. If you can get it somewhere around 70 to 74 is what our stats tell us. That's usually the most ideal. Even summer, winter, those sort of things. Just know that we want people to feel like they're really good. Next one is the odors. So I suggest getting a candle of some sort. Now, people like to bake cookies and stuff like that. I like to bake cookies too, but I tend to eat all these things. So what I have done is I've got a candle that smells like cinnamon rolls, and I put that in the kitchen. I use that for all my open houses, and it smells like, hey, yeah, something's nicely being cooked in here. But you can put that in. You don't have to make that, and you don't have to worry about the calories. So that's typically what I'll do in there. The candles are a lot better than those little plug-in things, because sometimes people have allergies to those. So make sure that you take care of that. There are some other odors that you may have gotten used to that you don't know, maybe the pets or something of that nature. There are some other solvents and things that you can use to get that out of the carpets. Again, like I had mentioned before, cleaning the floors, sweeping that out, getting dog hair, that takes all that out. So make sure to take a minute to Febreze things, sweep, clean, and keep it upkept, and that will just keep all those naturally occurring smells out of there, and it will keep it as neutral as possible. All right, the last one is go ahead and set the mood. We want people to walk in and be like, wow, this is amazing. Again, model home feel. We want it to be staged as much as it possibly can with your furniture that's in there. Everything that's kind of personalized to you, you want to remove that. If you haven't already, make sure to take down any specific photos of, say, you and your family or something like that. People want to walk into this house and picture themselves in here and not feel like they're intruding in on your house. So make sure to have that out. All the blinds that are open, turn all the lights on, make sure it's bright and vibrant, that people are like, yes, I want this to be our next home. I've also had people play like some smooth jazz in the background. That's not a big necessity. However, if you're there anyway and you want to throw that on and throw it on like a little thing on your TV, I've seen that happen before, and sometimes that's been pretty useful. All right, so that's all the tips that I have for today. Again, the cheapest things that you can do is clean and declutter and get that thing ready. Your objective here on trying to show a house is to get people to fall in love with your house. We want them to have an emotional connection with it. So when they talk to their real estate professional, or you, if you're a for sale by owner, that way they will make a decision based on their emotions, based off of this thing. Because next thing you know, you're going to be going back and forth in negotiations, and that can hurt some people's feelings down the road. So let them go in, and you're going to have the best chance to get the best and highest offer there. All right. Well, if you have any questions about this, of course, feel free to message me below. You can also reach out to us for direct message or via our email or phone. And if you know somebody else that really could use this information, make sure to share that with them. Make sure to like and share any of these things coming out. And we'll be back next week with another video to help you either buy or sell in this market. All right. Take care. Maybe.